Hey folks, Mike Dawkins from WorldCast Anglers with your Jackson Hole weekend fly fishing forecast for the weekend of August 22nd and 23rd. We're crunching through August here. As you can see behind me, normally this view and vista from Teton Pass, you can look down into Jackson Hole, see Snow King Mountain, Cache Creek, the Grovant Range, and all sorts of other things. But in the past couple days, we've had a lot of smoke roll into both Teton Valley and Jackson, coming from central Idaho, southern Idaho, California. Pretty typical August in my book. I'm actually surprised that we didn't start to see more smoke earlier. This is sort of the dog days of summer as we know it in the Rocky Mountain West. Hot, dry, lots of sun, lots of smoke. Call it what you want, artificial cloud cover, call it smoke or whatever. It's here, and it looks like it's here to stay for a little bit until we get some rain and cooler weather and fall starts to set in. I would expect us to be pretty smoky and hazy here for the next 10 to 14 days until we get a strong weather change. Sorry to miss you last week. I was on R&R with some friends, pack trip in the Wind River Mountains. We caught tons of brookies, tons of goldens, tons of cutthroats, had a ball, but I'm here now. I know everyone missed me. So this is what we've got coming forward with our fly fishing forecast for this weekend in late August. It's terrestrial time. We're sort of at that time in our season where we start to see our summer hatches wane. The PMDs, the caddis, the yellow sallies, all of those sort of summer bugs are going to start to taper off. We don't have the cool weather to kickstart our mahoganies, our betas, our things that are most notably for fall. So what we do in that middle time is we plug it with terrestrials. There's tons of hoppers around, beetles, ants, all sorts of any of those types of terrestrials should make a major play in your fly box, and they'll make a major play on the water here for the next 10-14 days until we start to see some of our fall weather and our fall hatches set in. The South Fork of the Snake, 9,780 CFS there being discharged from Palisades Dam, 10,700 CFS there in the lower river. It's been stable, it's been clear. We're starting to see some weed growth, especially up on the upper. There's still fish in the riffles eating PMDs, but they're quite spooky. They're quite smart, so look to downsize your tippets and look to downsize your flies. CDC emergers, last chance cripples, no hackles, any of those types of tricky Spring Creek styled PMDs are going to be your keys to success on the riffles on the South Fork. We're still seeing a pretty good dry dropper bite with leftover goldens. We haven't seen much really of those mutant stones. They should be kick started now, if not getting a little bit closer. But hopper dropper, golden dropper with a water walker, any of those bullet quills, tungsten tactical jig, pheasant tails, anything along those lines are going to be your keys to success here for the next couple weeks as we finish out summer. Look for you to be lengthening your dropper lengths. Probably, it wouldn't be that bad of an idea to fish them a little bit longer than you normally did earlier in the summer, and start looking to some of that water on those inside bends, those flats, above islands, points and channels and things like that where those fish maybe haven't been picked on as much, over the summer period. The Snake, should be able to see it behind me, but you can't. 1,810 CFS being discharged from Jackson Lake Dam, 3,380 CFS down there in the whitewater. The whitewater, the reports have been really good, fishing with dries, streamers, dry dropper style things with goldens, Chernobyl bugs, water walkers, Schroeder's parachute hoppers, Rainey's grand hopper, Morse hopper, any of that kind of stuff has been really good. The Snake, in honesty, has been fishing really good top to bottom. Grand Teton National Park has dropped into its own. It's fishing really well with terrestrials, hoppers, small attractors, PMDs, things along those lines. Look for the Snake to be a really good place to finish out your summer season if you're looking for some dry fly fishing here in the next 10 to 14 days. The Teton over in Teton Valley, 258 CFS in the valley, 720 CFS down there around Rexburg. The Teton, it's still holding on. It's going to behoove you to be out there early, and it's going to behoove you to be out there on the weekdays. Weekends are still really crowded on the river. So be on there early when the water temps are down and low and cool. Land your fish quickly. We're still having some really good hopper fishing and small dry fly fishing with PMDs, caddis, and general attractors and things along those lines. Look for that to hold on, but look for those fish to get really spooky as the water clarity is at its clearest and the water levels are at its lowest. We have a lot of weed growth as well, so keep those things in mind going into the weekend here for fishing the Teton. The Henry's Fork 970 CFS up there in the Box Canyon, 1,650 CFS there on the lower river. The lower river, as we've said in the past couple weeks, water temperatures are warm, weed growth is high. You know, if you are going to fish it, I'd probably fish some hoppers and some pretty big hoppers down there. You can have a ball and probably catch some big fish, but I would look to have my work done and my fishing done, you know, around noon, where I wouldn't be stressing out fish in warm water temps or those weeds or anything like that. The Box Canyon has still been really good, hopper dropper, dry dropper style. You know, look for that to continue here through the rest of August, and also your streamers up there in the Box Canyon can be really good this time of year. The ranch has been spectacular. We've had some great bug hatches up there. We've had some great dry fly fishing opportunities and head hunting opportunities, and some fish landed too, which makes it even better. Look for those PMDs to be on their way out, and look for those terrestrials to fill those gaps in your boxes. You know, those smaller hoppers, little Joe's hopper, you know, the deer head hopper, Dave's hopper, stuff like that, cinnamon ants, smaller, you know, black ants, CDC ants, little beetles, any of that kind of stuff should definitely be finding a place in your fly box if you're heading towards the ranch this coming weekend or for the next 10 to 14 days. Flat Creek over in Jackson, it's been really good and really fun. There's a lot of water in it this year, and it's been fishing quite well from the opener. You know, look for things to sort of settle down after the opener here. Be out there early in the morning, late in the evening, those lower light periods. Keep a low profile, long leaders, light tippets. Look for those leftover PMDs. You know, look for fish to eat some of those hoppers and other terrestrials during the day. And also be on the lookout for some crane flies skating around some of those bigger pools or confluences and things like that, where you can usually skate up a couple fish during the midday doldrums if you're looking to do that. Our tributaries and creeks, now's the time to hit it, guys. I've been harping on it the past couple weeks. Put on a backpack, go check it out. We've got awesome DIY walk wade fishing right now. The Gros Ventre, the Hoback, the Grays, the Buffalo Fork, Bitch Creek, Big Elk Creek, McCoy Creek. You know, any of those are going to be really good this time of year. Smaller attractors, royal wolves, you know, peril wolves, purple parachutes, you know, big elk hair caddis, things along those lines are going to be really good. Dry dropper fishing with hoppers is going to be really good. You know, and never forget, a couple small streamers can pull some fish out of some of the rocks and drop pools and things like that when you feel like you've covered it quite thoroughly with the hopper dropper. Saturday and Sunday, it looks pretty hot, looks pretty dry. We've got highs in the high 80s, lows in the mid 50s for both days. It's supposed to be lots of sun, but you can't really tell up here right now. So that's all we have today. Thank you very much for tuning in here to the WorldCast Anglers Jackson Hole Fly Fishing Forecast for this weekend. We thank you for your business and everyone's business through the summer and the trying times. We hope everybody's staying safe and healthy. Take care, have a great weekend on the water, and we'll see you here next week.